Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Akia Wasap. Today's lesson is entitled, The Wicked Has Been Revealed, and Lord willing be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son in the Paleo Hebrew. And as always, the sit downs, the lessons, the street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel, the Most High, to use the gospel preached. So I got this video from GMS Get This Work, which is a brother Manatazak from out here in GMS LA. He does a lot of these short videos, bringing out edification. All right, so subscribe and be edified. Which I had to pull it up on a browser. That's why I still subscribe, but you know, you subscribe and hit the post notifications to get edified. I'm gonna start at the 40th, around about here, 35 seconds in, and you got what appears to be an Edomite. All right, which we know who the Edomites are by their spirit. We don't go off of so much the skin. Skin is an identifier, of course, but you got Israelites that look like so-called white people. You got Israelites that look like Asians and East Indians and Japs, so on and so forth. So it is the spirit that beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So ultimately, we go off the spirit, all right? But what appears to be an Edomite, he's going into the Rothschilds, all right, which you have these bankers that's ruling the earth in wickedness, all right, and they're being exposed. Okay, now when we prophesy against Esau, Edom, we prophesy against the upper echelons, the nobles, those that's in a position of power, ruling the earth in wickedness. The regular Edomite that you see at your job or at Sprouts or at Trader Joe's, all right, they're gonna get destroyed, all right, but our message isn't to them, it's to the elites. All right, when you look at Isaiah, Jeremiah, various prophets, all right, they address the kings, the wicked kings of Israel. All right, so we being the prophets of today, we set our face against Mount Seir, and it starts off with the elites, and the elites are being exposed. You got the Rothschilds, you got various different banking families, you know the names, the DuPonts, all right, the Oppenheimers, the Clintons, so on and so forth. But they're being revealed. So you got this Christian pastor, all right, and it says the white American man, Rich Tidwell, Christian pastor. The name Rothschild means shield of Edom because they're Edomites, and they're correct. All right. So let's go ahead and play this, and then I'm going to pull some precepts and get out of here.
Shield of Edom. Everybody say Shield of Edom.
Matter of fact, let me read this. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Apostle Paul's giving warning on, the prophecies that have to take place in order for us to, basically get to the end of this thing, the end of Esau's rule. So he speaks about the, as it says here, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means. And that's one of the statements Yahweh Shai said in Matthew the 24th chapter when he went into these conditions that will be playing out in the earth leading up to his return. He spoke about let no man deceive you. It's going to be a lot of deception, a lot of things to throw you off, a lot of psychological operations, all to disguise who the wicked is, the Edomites, and all to keep you in darkness. All right, but the Lord has blessed us with this illumination, this light, and we see clearly here in this darkness. So let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. Talking about when our Lord Yahweh Shai comes back with power and great glory, except there come a falling away first, which we experienced that. All right, the Israelites have fell away from that royal pristine estate that we were in, all right, during the time of King David, King Solomon, all right, leading up to when we was in our land, which we were being ruled over by the Romans And prior to the Romans, we were ruled over by the Greeks, but during those empires, we knew who we were. We knew we were the Israelites. All right, but the ultimate falling away came after 70 AD when the diaspora happened, and when majority of the Israelites went into the interiors of Africa. When you had the Northern Kingdom already over here in the Americas, there was a falling away first. All right, we lost our heritage, our identity, our connection with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We lost the names. So that came to pass. It says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So Esau's being revealed. That's a part of prophecies. He's going to be exposed. All these different odious works of wickedness that you're hearing about with the e-files and how these devils do with food and, the abortions and the stem cells and, the shots, so on and so forth. All right, these devils have conspired against the children of Israel to cut us off from being a people. They deceive us and manipulate us through media and music and entertainment and movies, so on and so forth. So now the finger is being pointed at the elites. They destroy the world with capitalism. They put everybody in debt, having everybody chasing these dollars that's not backed by anything, and it's just fiat currency. And we can go all day with bringing out the judgments and the charges against these devils. But as it says here, in that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So tune in.
Today's message is Shield of Edom. Everybody say Shield of Edom. Now, this is coming from actually the term Rothschild, and we're going to talk about that today. We've kind of been on a series after the Epstein Files release on Epstein and the end times and the synagogue of Satan. And this is a continuation of that series where we'll be discussing these connections. In fact, if you don't know this, in the Epstein emails, Epstein wrote Peter Thiel, who is the founder of Palantir, the surveillance company that's going to play a major role here in these last days. And he said, as you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. And that's a very key piece of information, because what that means is there is...
In Palantir, just a background, Palantir basically developed these apps that the federal government and law enforcement and the military is able to use to spy out on people. All right. Case in point, you had ICE that was using this app that was developed by Palantir called the Elite app. And it's basically a sophisticated Google Maps. And it gave them the probability of where a migrant could possibly be. And the range was like 90% accuracy, 95% accuracy. So ICE was using this Elite app developed by Palantir. Now, when Esau come down to persecute the men of the Lord, they're going to be using stuff like that. All right. And who funds these companies is these Rothschilds, man.
A hierarchy to this synagogue of Satan and to these group of people who are serving the devil here on earth and creating a vast network, right? How is the Antichrist?
Which these Christians, they don't be on point. They're not the men of the Lord. But going back to what we was bringing out in the beginning of this lesson, the wicked is being revealed. So people are noticing, wickedness in high places. So when they say the devil, they talking about the spiritual demon Satan that work on the mind of the wicked. All right. In that same chapter in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, it speaks about these devils coming after the working of Satan. So you have people on earth that fulfill, basically they fulfill the left-hand side of the Most High, which when we talk about the left and the right, Yahweh Shai, he sits on the right-hand side. All right. And then you have the spiritual demon Satan. All right, that sits on the left. And that's the duality of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He controls both sides. He controls the good and the evil. So you have prophecies that speak about evil and pestilences and, war and all that. Now, some of these things happen organically, meaning, it's just the spirits is working on the minds of people to fulfill certain things. But then you have the spiritual demon Satan, whose counterpart is Esau, and he puts it in his mind to go to war, destroy Israelites, deceive, so on and so forth. Okay, and that's what we up against: spiritual wickedness in high places. These Edomites coming after the working of Satan that got these agendas to fulfill.
Gonna obtain control of such a large portion of the earth? Well, there's a lot of groundwork that has to be done in advance. The surname Rothschild originates from German, meaning red shield. Now, most people know that. Okay.
And we've been saying that and bringing it out for ages. Well, not ages, for years. Our elders and apostles been bringing it out for over 30 years. But now you have these regular Christian pastors, which they watch us, they keep up with us, they sharpen they dull knives off of our videos. But we see that even these pastors is bringing it out.
Most people realize that the Rothschilds are Ashkenazis, they're German Jews.
Which that's off. Ashkenazi goes to one of the sons of Japhet, and Japhet today are the Samoans, the Tongans, the Polynesians. You know, prior to Esau going up in Europe, you had Japhet all in those areas, all right, ruling. But Esau went amongst them, finessed them, took them out of their land, and called themselves after the names of Japhet. You know, and the Ashkenazi Jew, that's two different descendants. All right, you had Japhet, which is one of the sons of Noah. One of Japhet's sons was Ashkenaz. But then you have Jew, which is short for Judah, which is one of the descendants of Jacob, and Jacob was one of the descendants of Shem, going back to Noah's sons. So Shem, Ham, and Japheth, you can't be from two different lineages. So that's off. All right, they're the Edomites. They just hide under these different banners, Ashkenazi Jews, so you don't find out who they really are, but they're being exposed. So as he breaking it down here, and watch the video, you know, he's breaking down Rothschild, which goes back to red shield, which red in the Hebrew is Adawam, which is Edom. All right, and these devils are being exposed, man. Let me see something. All right. Let me leave off with one more precept. Because you have Edomites coming out. Oh my gosh. Done. You have Edomites exposing Edomites, man. This is Psalm 64:1. It says, the Psalm of David, hear my voice, O power in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. And the chief enemy of the Israelites is Esau. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So there's secret counsel of the wicked. There's things that these elites conspire amongst themselves behind the scenes to come and attack the Israelites, whether it's through diet, food, entertainment, you know, work culture, you know, the monetary system, giving women liberty and different things. All right, that's secret counsel to destroy us. Who whet their tongue like a sword. That word whet there means to sharpen. So we talk about their weaponry. We talk about the missiles being their sword, but ultimately the sword is also their tongue. And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they shoot at him and fear not. The perfect are the Israelites. So you have the wicked in their secret counsel, and they sharpen their sword. They whet their sword just to shoot secretly at the perfect. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of land snares privily. They say, who shall see me? And their power has been secrecy and darkness, but now they're being revealed. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Yeah, because they coming after the working of Satan. Them demons they worship reveal unto them technology, science, which a lot of their science is pseudoscience, but you know, the spiritual demon Satan work on them to where they're able to deceive perfectly. The Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. And whereas an arrow and the quiver of the Most High shooting at these Edomites, ultimately the Lord is going to really shoot at them when the time of World War III comes. so shall they make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So part of prophecy is that not only that the prophets expose them, their own people expose them. Their own tongue is falling upon themselves. All right. So yeah, man, the verdict is out. The wicked has been revealed, and even regular Edomite pastors is bringing it out. So Lord willing, you edified through the Spirit and power Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shai. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kakodah. Shalom, Akim. Stay watching.